everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Motivate with Coach Camp. I, of course, am your host, Coach Camp, and we are down here in these amazing studios of SRP with Mr. Derek Michaud. Well, here we are. We're at the end of another year. 2024 is coming to a close, and I just decided that I wanted to close this year out just like I did last year with just doing a solo event, coming in here and talking to you guys, giving you a little bit of where we've been, where we're going. You know, just not only that, but I wanted to infuse some fire in you, hopefully, because see, it's no good if I just carry all the fire around with me. I want to share the fire with other people, and that's what we're about to do today. So settle in for just a minute. Not going to be a long message, but it's going to be an important message. An important message does not have to be long. It needs to be actually succinct, and that's what I'm about to do with you guys. So let's just talk about Motivate with Coach Camp, all right? Let's think about this for a second. Before I came into the studio, I was looking back over the past episodes. So today, this episode is airing right at the end of December 2024. We're about to step into 2025. Now, it's real easy for us all to get stuck in the moment that we're living in. Think about things only how we see them. Forget what all we've done to get to the place that we're at. And then really feel sometimes either dejected or like the mountain's still too high to climb to move forward. So it's easy to give up on stuff. Let's just be honest. Too often, if we think a lot about what it is that we've had to go through to get where we are, we want to give up because we don't see the value in the struggle. Well, I got news for you. Whenever I started this process, I said, I want the struggle. I want it because I want to know what I'm doing matters, and I want to know that I can feel it. And whenever all of a sudden you have some breakthroughs, man, it's going to feel good. So let's look back for a second. It was March of 2020 when I made the decision that I wanted to do something with Coach Camp. It was March of 2020, and I said, I think I can do this. I'm going to start being a positive voice. So I started doing this thing. Y'all know the story if you follow me all the time. Started down that path. Now, that means this coming March in 2025, it's going to be roughly, we're looking at 4 years total that I actually started stuff, having to get branded, to doing some speeches, to eventually I actually put on a show, which was incredible. I still look back on that. I'm like, man, I don't even know what made me think I should do that, but I did. So here we are. In December this year, this marks just over 2 years. So it's like 26 months that we've been going at it with podcasting. I knew nothing about podcasting when I started. I'm not saying I know something about it now, but I know a little bit more about it, I would say. And when we started off, I had no idea where it would lead, what it would do, but I knew it was important because I felt like that, the bigger your voice can be, the more people you can have an impact on, the more people you can help. And that was always the goal to begin with, was to help others. So I've invested myself. Look, people sometimes they don't understand what it takes to get to where you need to be or where you want to be. And that struggle is not just a physical struggle. It's not just a grind each and every day. You got to invest. You got to invest in yourself. Look, when you go to college, if you're taking out loans and stuff, you're investing in what is potential. You're not investing in what you know always. Now you have the faith that whatever you're going to school for, that you're going to be able to get the education needed and then get out there in the workforce and make the money back. That's what you hope for, right? Life's not guaranteed. There's no guarantees in life. There's no absolutes. So what you do is you do that in good faith, but you also realize there has to be a process and there has to be an investment. Well, this had to be no different. I had to put the time in, had to put the work in. I had to put the money in. I have been investing in this every month. I have to rent the studio space. A lot of times I will have to bring a person in from somewhere. I will take care of them. Whatever the case is, I am investing my money. Now, I've only yielded a handful of donors, no sponsorships. It's fine because guess what? I wasn't going to quit. I knew the message was too stinking important. And as I went forward, I knew that I wanted to hit a lot of topics. So look, I wrote down some stuff here. This is what's amazing, man. In just 2 years' time, we have spoken with so many nonprofits. We've had mayors, other politicians. We've spoken on mental health, addiction, recovery, PTSD, overcoming severe tragedies within your family, military members from World War II to serving in the Vietnam War, professional performers. We have hit on so many stinking things. Whenever we went into 2024, we said, pedal to the floor in 2024. That was our motto. And I think that you should create a motto each phase of life or else you go along. Give you something to kind of focus on. If you're into a new season, think about what that season's going to mean for you. So pedal to the floor, man, we were going full tilt. I was going to give it everything I had. And that's what we started doing. And I was trying to bring in different guests. I was contacting people all over the place. And there was a moment where Derek and I realized that there was another opportunity for us to pursue, because we had been people had reached out to us about, hey, look, maybe you guys should do like a show, and you guys are pretty funny. So we started Cannonballing Life, which is actually the theory behind all of this. The theory is you just jump in. Whenever you see something, go for it, because we oftentimes will not go for it. We just hold ourselves back, which we're holding back potential. We're holding back opportunities. So I was like, I'm not going to hold back. So we jumped in. So now I'm recording Coach Camp Show, and I'm recording Cannonballing Life. And Cannonballing Life was a hit. People were contacting us from everywhere. And I don't know how many episodes we ended up doing. We did quite a few episodes, and it ran for a few months, and then life starts to happen. And I think that's part of the story here too, is when life does come your way and you have to take a step back, you have to punt the ball, the proverbial punt. You know, whenever a football team is driving down the field to try and score a touchdown, they punt the ball. They're not punting the ball to give up. That's not the goal. They're punting the ball to put themselves in a better position so that they can try again and pursue that forward. And that's what we did. And Derek had to punt the ball at the time. So we've had to put Cannonball on the shelf. That didn't mean it's not coming back. In fact, that's part of the goals. In 2025, we're bringing Cannonball back. For any of you out there that were wondering what happened to that, we had to put it on pause. Sometimes life catches up to you and you have so many things going on. Well, in the past year, 2024, it was a lot of investing in me, for myself, for the Coach Camp part of things, for me to grow the platform. So I actually was on a TV show, reality TV show, which is airing. In fact, I think there may be a couple episodes left as we speak, as this is coming out, because there were 8 total episodes for the season. And it was called The Blocks. And it's an entrepreneur show. I didn't know what was going to come from it. I went on the show and I wanted to win, but it turns out I was not good at what the competitions were, because it was about marketing and other things, but I learned a lot. And a person would say, man, you used all that time and money and effort, and what did you get from it? Well, the lessons that you learn sometimes is what you get out of the moment, or out of the experience, out of the journey. And I got a lot out of that. In fact, I actually had several guests come on the show from meeting them out there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And man, just learning from their stories and hearing their struggles, because that's another thing that I think we sometimes undervalue. We undervalue the strength we get by hearing other people's stories, which is why I knew this platform was going to have a huge, huge impact. And we've been doing that. We've been doing that. We've been having a huge impact. And so hearing their stories of struggle, overcoming problems, it just inspires me to keep going, keep pushing, keep moving forward. And I did. And the business has continued to expand. And I've been contacted from folks from all over the United States. I even had a lady contact me just a couple weeks ago asking about being a guest on the show from Australia. It happens a lot. And it's really kind of still mind-boggling to me a little bit, but I've started to come to accept the fact that this voice and this platform is necessary, and it's growing constantly. Now, do I hit on everything for everybody? No. Do I get negative messages? Yes. I'm not even going to shy away from that. Sometimes people will send me stuff kind of rude. Does not bother me. You want to know why? Because I realize this. If you are not speaking to authority on things, chances are you're not being honest with yourself or others. So whenever that honesty starts to bleed through, not everybody appreciates it. And that's the truth of the matter. And I'm okay with that. But the idea is that you get something from the message. And the message is not always from me. That's why I have so many different guests come on from different walks of life. They have different experiences. Now, in the process of this, I've been able to do keynote speaking for other places. I've continued to build the speaking platform itself. So being able to go to schools, different companies have had me come in and be their keynote speaker. And that's awesome. That is fantastic. It's part of what I want to do. And meanwhile, I'm still investing my own money. Every single month, I am pouring my money into this. My wife's not always super happy about it, but that's okay. She understands that it's a passion. And, I think whenever we do pursue something that we're passionate about, we're willing to go all in on that thing. We're going to be successful at some point. It's those people that start to back off and give up, and they let off the throttle, and all of a sudden they look back and now they have regrets. It was recently that I was looking over some notes that I had written, and something stood out to me, and it's still relevant to this day. It'll be relevant to the day I die. And that is, I would much, much rather go after something and fail 10 times, ultimately decide that it's not for me, whatever that thing is, but have learned tons of lessons along the way, than to have never attempted. Because I think the people say that there is a fear of the unknown, which I get that. That's true for a lot of folks. For me, it's the fear of not trying. If I didn't go all in and I didn't give it everything I had, and I had a true, love for it or an appetite for something, and I didn't go all in because I was too afraid to do it, man, it would be so scary to me to look up in my late days, if I'm fortunate enough to live to an old life, and think about all the things that I gave up and didn't do and didn't try, and always wonder and know it's too late and that the sands in the hourglass have ran completely out. Man, what purpose would that serve? God, what a wasted opportunity. What a wasted life. Do you see what I'm saying? Are you feeling any of this message? Don't waste it, man. This is your moment. This is the moment. Get up right now. Get up. This is the time that you got to act. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait till things are better or more situated. If we waited until we were ready to have kids, no kids would ever be born. Let's face it. You just got to take action. You got to move on it, man. Move on it. This past year, I ran 2 marathons. For those of you that follow regularly, you know that I am trying to run a marathon in all 50 states. It is not lost on me. I'm not getting younger. And each marathon does feel like it's a little harder. But that's 33 states. As soon as I finish one, my mind goes to, what do I need to do to get ready for the next one? When can I run it? I have a sense of urgency, man. Life is passing. That's why every time that I have an opportunity to come in here and record, I will do that with another person. We have not missed a single Monday. Every single week, we put another episode out. The only exception of a Monday that did not get posted was my dog and ran off. And on that Monday, I was still putting out messages trying to find my animal. When we got our dog back that very Tuesday, the next day, we put our podcast out. It's the only one that didn't go out on a Monday. And thank God we got our dog back. So the community helped out on that one. Again, the community. And that's where it's at, my friends. So this past year, I was able to speak at conferences, with leadership conferences with the Hope Center, which is a nonprofit for youth mentorship. You see these kids grow. You see them start to believe in themselves. You see that you can instill confidence in them of what is possible, which is another reason why we must work hard to be successful. So our success is not always about us, of course. Our success is about how do we relay this to other people to have them to see what is possible for themselves. And that is why I know that Coach Camp has to be successful. I can't give up. It's not just about me. It's about other people having seen this process. And then they would see me and say, oh, look, it got hard. He gave it a go, but he gave up. Why would I even go through all that trouble for myself just so I could give up? Man, that's a heavy weight that I carry right there. I don't want to be a disappointment to someone. Not in that way. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are those out there that want to see me fail, fall flat, give it up, throw it away. Well, those people I am going to disappoint. Too bad. So sad. I'm still going. I'm not going to quit going. And I'm asking you to do the same. I'm asking you to get up and get going. Don't quit going. Don't quit going. Don't quit going. Keep moving. That's the only way we get somewhere, baby. And it's always easier to get there when you got somebody pushing you from behind to help you out. To see that you don't give up on yourself. Accountability. We need some accountability, man. Come on. Let's go. Y'all feeling this? I'm feeling it today. It's 9-something in the morning. I'm feeling this message, baby. Let's go. So writing down some stuff here. From the podcasting to the public speaking. The website's about to grow in 2025. We are about to push out some new material. So I got a new motto for 2025. It's time to thrive in 2025. Time to thrive. Look, I'm going to tell you, if you don't speak things into existence, you don't have a true desire to see it happen in front of you, it's real easy to get caught up in the murky mud and not see a possibility, not have a vision for what is possible. So it's so crucial. It's so critical that we don't quit. In 2024, I did a lot of things. I started coaching another team now that was a competitive softball team. Sometimes you put a lot of irons in the fire, you get pulled in different directions, and you got to hit reset, and you got to check yourself. You got to make sure that you're staying focused on the thing that's most important. Well, the thing that's most important for me at this phase in my life is to make sure that I'm having a positive impact in other people's lives. I've been down the roads. I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot. And I know that Coach Camp, the whole platform itself, and the podcast itself is not for just me. It was for everyone else. And I can't give up on this dream. And I can't give up on this mission. So I want to share this with you. This is the last time that I will probably be recording. This will be the last one of the season. And then next year, you might see one more that was recorded here, but maybe not. Just depends on if I get another guest in here. Because as we do with the podcasting world, we will have several banked. And then whenever the time lapses, 4, 5, 6 weeks from now, those things get pushed out. But as of the end of November 2024, the SRP Studios, here where we are in downtown, the square of Hernando, Mississippi, will be closing its doors. We are moving to a new location. You see, I think that's a big part of it, is whenever you see that something is coming to an end, you don't think that that's it. You got to find the next move. What's the next move? Sometimes you got to sidestep. You got to go backwards a little bit before you can move forwards. And that's what we did. So Derek is going to be moving to a new location. And you won't see these things necessarily behind you anymore. But the message doesn't change. Where the environment might change, the location might change, the message doesn't change. That's one of the things that I think keeps me inspired, is seeing Derek continue to push. See, Derek's business, that's his whole livelihood. And if he's not being successful, everything could go up in flames. But he keeps pushing. This is not my livelihood. But this is something that is important to me. And I hope that it's important to you. I hope that the message is sinking in. I hope that folks out there are seeing sometimes the struggle that we're going through, and you're putting this into place for yourself, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, if they're able to do these things, I don't see why I can't. If they're able to keep pushing whenever things are kind of getting low, I don't see why I can't. Of course you can. Of course. We're not special. We're not superhuman, but we will keep moving. We will keep moving. And that's what you have to do. But I want to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you, everyone out there that's listening to this. And look, I get it. Sometimes my solos are not nearly as bolstered as others, but I'm hoping that this message gets out there. I'm going to ask you to do some stuff. I want you to set some micro goals, and I want you to set some medium goals, and I want you to set some shoot for the star goals for 2025. That's how we are going to thrive in 2025. So I want to be your accountability partner for just a minute. Okay. Let's just look down. What is the possibilities for us? So let's say that you are wanting to go back to school. Okay. Get you a pathway. Know what it is that you're trying to go after. Because if you don't have a clue as where you're going, just wandering aimlessly, you're going to waste a lot of time, not be very efficient, probably end up not achieving the thing that you would really like to achieve. So you got to be a little bit more direct. You got to be intentional. I think that's how life needs to be anyways. You got to live with some intent in there. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have it figured out, by no means, but I am saying that you have to have at least a goal in mind, because otherwise, what are we working toward? You can't just sit there and run in a circle all day and think you're getting somewhere. So set some goals. Set some micro goals. Those micro goals are going to be the things that keep you motivated to keep going, that you know are not too hard to achieve, but they're necessary for the big thing, whatever the big thing is. I'll give you an example. For me this year, coming up, 2025, I know that I have some school events where I'm going to go speak to a couple classes, and those would be micro goals. I don't get paid for them usually. If I do, it's not a lot. And it's something that is important to me because I realize too that I'm investing in the future. That's one. The second goal has to be a little bigger. And so for me, I am going to set my sights on 4 keynote speaking events. I am going to send out information to several businesses where I get 4, at least 4 in 2025. Major keynote speaking events. That's called being intentional. Now, I got to tell you, when I first started out, I was taking whatever could come my way. I wasn't being so intentional about it, but the intentionality was I knew I needed to get speaking events. So I took whatever I could get. And it didn't matter where it was or what it was doing. I just needed to go speak to people to get the name out there, but also to sharpen my craft. So 4 major speaking events. I'm writing it down. 4 major keynotes. This is me being accountable with you. So whatever it is that you're wanting to do, if it's a running goal or something, you want to hit, 10 5Ks this year, or maybe you want to lose 30 pounds, whatever it is. Right now, get you a pen and paper. I mean, that's what this is about. Get you a pen and paper. Let's work together right here, right now. So I'm going to get at least 1 speech somewhere every month. 1 speech every month. Doesn't matter where it's at. And if I miss a month, I'm going to have to do 2. So that could be schools. That could be anything. 1 speech per month. This is what I'm doing. I hope you're writing down some goals for yourself right now. That's what take the time. Dadgum. That's what this is about. If you're taking the time to listen to this, if you're driving down the road, don't write while you're driving. I get it. pull off to the side of the road or wait till you get to where you're going. 4 major keynote speaking events. That's my medium goal. That's the medium. You got the small, you got the medium. Now here comes the big one. Here's the big one. I'm going to put on another show. If y'all remember, a couple years back, I put on the Tools for Leadership at the Lander Center. Rented out the joint, had 3 other speakers come in. This year, I am going to work toward, at some point in 2025, I am going to do a solo event where I am going to go to a place, whether it's the DeSoto Family Theater or some other venue. I'm going to rent it out, and I'm going to put on a show. And we're going to see how that goes. But the point is this. If you want to grow and you want to get bigger and you want to be better at whatever it is you're doing, whether it's at your job, whether it's at your education, or whether it's at your health, whatever it is, if you don't set some intentional goals that you can focus on, it's never going to come true. I'm sure that y'all have heard the stories of a person that thinks that they want a Lamborghini. You get a picture of a Lamborghini and you put that on your refrigerator, and every day you wake up and you walk past that refrigerator, you see that Lamborghini. It's in sight, it's in mind. You take that picture down, put it away, it's out of sight, it's out of mind. All of a sudden, you start to not think about it. You forget about the goals that you had. It's not real. It's not tangible. Well, even though it's going to be a hard process for you to get that Lamborghini, if every single day you woke up and you looked at that Lamborghini, guess what's going to happen? At some point, you're going to figure out how to get there. You're going to get that Lamborghini. Well, let's do the same thing with life. I've done that a little bit, just not as understanding to what it was I was going after. I didn't always grasp the moment. But I knew what I needed to do to an extent. I knew that I needed to get a label. I needed an emblem. I needed some kind of logo. I knew that I needed a voice. I knew that I needed a platform. I knew that I needed to have direction. And I started putting those pieces together. And now here we are going on 4 years of a lot of time and investment, tons of time. I mean, just to do one podcast, it's a ton of time. You book a guest, you write the questions, you bring them in, you do the thing, and then you do the intro, and then it pushes out. The editing, it's a lot. But the work didn't scare me because I knew it was important. Well, that's what I'm asking you right now. Join on the Coach Camp team. Send me messages as you grow. Look, over this past year, I had people contact me from all over the country. I had folks flying from Oregon to driving in from North Carolina, Indiana, Georgia, coming in to be on the show, share amazing stories of survival, of achievement. And that's what you can do too, man. That's what you can do too. And this recently, I've inspired another individual. I'm proud for him. It's called Local Yokels. He started his own podcast. He says that he attributes a lot of that inspiration coming from me. I'll take it. I'm humbled by it. I think that's great, man. That's the point. It's the Motivate with Coach Camp Let's go. You do the same thing. If it's podcasting, go. It's time. Let's go. It's time. It's time. It's time. How many times do I need to say it? It's time. 2025 is here. Maybe you could sit back and look at all the politics and think to yourself, oh, I'm so depressed. Maybe you think to yourself, oh, I'm so excited. What does it even matter if you don't take the action? See, you're only going to make things different and better if you do it. You have to be the one. Don't expect someone else to do it for you. The opportunities are still there. We live in one of the greatest countries on the earth. It's called America. You get an opportunity to do stuff. I just couldn't do this in any other country. There are countries that would not allow me to have a microphone and put a message out. Can you believe that? I do know that to be true. So take action. Get up and get going right now. This is your moment. This is your call to action. I recently put out that video. Take action. Because failure to take action is failure. At least trying. You should learn something from it. Whatever that is. In that moment that you may come up short, failure's never final until you quit. Keep that in mind. Look, I'm not going to belabor this anymore. This is my final message of 2024. See, I did that, just a little rhyme in there. But I do want y'all to take something with you. I want you to take with you the confidence that if you put forth the effort, you take the first step, you start moving, and along the way, you're paying attention. Tomorrow will be better than yesterday. And even when the chips seem down and you feel like there's no path forward, if you would just take a breath and realize where you've come from, I think you'll realize you've gone a lot further than you probably even dreamed. I hope that you get something out of these things. I know so many of you actually do. Continue to tune in. 2025 is going to be amazing. I feel like that we're right there, man. The precipice is here. We're about to do that breakthrough moment, and some big things are going to come our way. And I say our way because this, again, is about us. That's what it's all about, community. So continue to tune in. I'm going to ask you to go to my website, motivatewithcoachcamp.com, which is in the process of being revised. Please subscribe to my YouTube. And for all practical purposes, as we sign off here at SRP for 2024, I just want y'all to remember this. Continue to tune in. And until next time, Coach Camp out.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mine.